Hello and welcome back to Catch Up with Kai and Cohen. I'm Kai and I have Cohen with me, and today we're going to be looking at some stories from the internet about people's views, whether they're right, whether they're wrong, and we've got a couple pulled up. What do you think about this, Cohen?
Yeah, we weren't too sure what series we're going to do. So we thought, let's pull some posts from social media, read it out loud, give us some perspective and views on it. We know it's very commonly and well done, but we thought we'd just give it a try to see how it goes. But
hey, man, seems like people like it, so why not? You'll get the Catch Up and Kai and Cohen edition of
yeah. Our
of
takes
this
might
too.
be a little bit different, but who knows? We'll see.
So let's get started with the first one. Do you want to read this one out?
Yeah. So I got one that says, "Am I the asshole for prioritizing my daughter's recital over a funeral?" So here,
Initial thoughts just from reading that title. Do you have an opinion over if someone's an asshole?
Just from that. So to preface, I haven't read it yet.
Yeah.
But just from that title, I would say an asshole.
Yeah, kind of an asshole, right? For prioritizing a recital over a funeral.
And why do you think an asshole?
Well, because a funeral is something that it's the end of life for someone. It's the final event.
Yeah, but what if you didn't know that someone? If it's like an acquaintance,
right? Of course. So context of course matters. Yeah. If it's like an acquaintance, someone that you didn't particularly get on with or weren't super close with, I think it's still nice to.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if it was an acquaintance that passed away and I wasn't, I guess, do you call it an invite to a funeral?
What do you call it?
When we're asked to come,
yeah,
the courtity is to go to show your respect.
Right, especially if there's you have nothing else to do. Mm-hmm. But, we've got some context where it's someone's daughter's recital. But let's get some more context, see exactly what's going on.
So here's a post. "My daughter, 5 years old, had a dance recital on Saturday. Her dance studio scheduled everything a couple months ago, so my husband and I were prepared to attend. Last Wednesday, my father informed me that his mother-in-law, his wife's mother, had passed away, and the funeral would be on Saturday. He said that he and his wife wanted me to attend it with my family, but would settle for just me. I'll be honest, I didn't want to go. I didn't have a close relationship with my father's mother-in-law. My kids saw her once a year at most, but I wouldn't mind attending if it weren't for my daughter's recital. The funeral would take place in a different city, a very short flight away, which my father had offered to cover.
That's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't be possible to attend both. I offered my condolences, but said my daughter had a dance recital on Saturday and my family wasn't able to attend the funeral. My father said he'd understood why I couldn't take my children, though his wife was disappointed I wouldn't just tell my daughter's dance studio that there had been a family emergency. In spite of that, they both thought I should still go on my own. They said that my husband could attend the recital on his own, that missing one of my daughter's events when I'm there for everything else wouldn't be a big deal, and that she's so young that she probably wouldn't remember it anyway. She'd have more recitals in the future, but the funeral would only happen once. I stood my ground. Saturday came, I attended my daughter's dance recital. Both my father and his wife were radio silent all day, and I chose not to bother them. My father finally called me yesterday, and we had an argument. He said his wife was inconsolable because her mother loved me and my children, and it broke her heart that we weren't there to say our goodbyes. He also said he was disappointed at how dismissive I'd been of his wife and her family, and he couldn't believe I'd refused to make such a small sacrifice for someone who would drop everything to do the same for me. I continued to stand by what I did. I understand her passing was sudden and the funeral was rushed, but I had made a commitment to my daughter, and I wanted to honor it. My father said she should be old enough to understand that her mom has something more important to do."
What do you think? Straight away, I think I'm sticking to my original guns and saying this woman, this person is probably an asshole. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know, actually.
I think they are. And I think there's a couple things that are kind of interesting in this post, specifically with her wording. I noticed that, obviously I'm reading too much into this, but that's the fun of it. I noticed that she exclusively refers to her dad as her father. And I feel like most of the time when people do that, it says a little something about their relationship.
What do you mean?
With that person. Like it's not exactly a term of endearment, is it?
But what would that impact your decision to call this person an asshole?
No, it doesn't. I think it provides some
Oh,
context though
okay.
that this person seems to not really get along too well
Yeah,
with
could be.
with her father. And what was that? Grandma,
It would be grandma in law,
grandma-in-law, right? So not
which is
exactly
like,
not exactly someone that you would ever really be close with in the first
and
place.
she says it here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not she, is it a he?
I think it's a she.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah,
anyways, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
So it sounds like you don't really think she's an asshole.
I don't know. I think I'm more leaning towards not an asshole.
Dude, I mean, from my point of view, okay, so it's someone's funeral, someone that's part of the extended family, I guess. And she has her daughters. This person has their daughter's dance recital, 5-year-old daughter's dance recital. And the choice is between going to the dance recital and attending this funeral. So if this was like a situation where it's a single parent and they gotta be there for the daughter's dance recital, I would totally be on their side. But considering that the family only requested this person's attendance, and they were a bit they were fine with the rest of the family not attending, but if this person could attend, and this person's husband was available to stick around for the daughter's dance recital, I think she's kind of an asshole for skipping out on the funeral to attend the dance recital for her daughter.
Oh, I could see both sides, to be honest.
What's your argument for not an asshole?
Well, number one, it's not close with this person. I actually think they're gaslighting this person, saying that they would do everything to drop what they're doing.
That's true.
Forever. And like, oh wow, you didn't show up to this. Like they're kind of blaming her for kind of insane, just to blame, not just, but like to blame all this on her. So there's a little bit of gaslighting I see here.
Yeah.
And then the argument could be made, I don't know, like, how do you know the kid is going to understand? Like these events are like, it could be so monumental for them.
It could.
Like it could impact their development, like their growth, their perspective. It could make such a huge impact for them. So you don't know that. You can't make that decision or say that about the daughter.
Yeah, completely true.
That's unfair.
Yeah.
That's where I lean towards not an asshole. But that being said, I can also see why the person could be labeled as an asshole, because you're right. It's like they're technically still family. And the gaslight part, I don't know, but like apparently they consider them close. But
the thing that kind of stuck with me is this person chose to. So Saturday came, I attended my daughter's dance recital. Both my father and his wife were radio silent all day, and I chose not to bother them. My father finally called me yesterday, and we had an argument. That specifically is a little bit strange to me. This person didn't attend the funeral, and also seems like did not really offer any condolences on the day of. And there was no conversation had until her father called her after the funeral had already happened.
Yeah. I also find it weird because it says the father understood why I couldn't take my children.
Yeah, because she couldn't take her children, but they were like, okay, you don't have to bring your whole family. Because she said, my family can't attend. Yeah. So then her father seems to have said, okay, looks, your family can't attend, but we would still like for you to attend. Yeah. So, judging by that, it didn't seem like she offered much. Yeah, because I'm trying to think. Father's wife's mother. It's a pretty distant person, to be honest. Yeah. Like it's one thing if it's like your mother-in-law or father-in-law. Like obviously you really should be there for that kind of event. I mean, but like a grandmother too. You know what I mean? Like given that you have like a good relationship. Yeah. But a grandmother-in-law and a grandfather-in-law. Like to say that this person cares so much for you. Yeah. But then the person's saying, oh, we only met them like once a year. Like, sure, like maybe there's different perception of how close they are. But mentioning that, I think is a form of gaslighting to say that, oh, they would have dropped everything for you, but you couldn't even do this. I'm totally with you there. That really does seem like a form of gaslighting. Yeah. I wonder if I'm sure it does, but I wonder how much grief plays a role in this, Like your world is 100%. It said it was sudden. So I find that emotions are pretty high already. Like it's probably like more than 100%. You know what I mean? And it must be like, I could totally see it being quite crushing that someone in the family dies so
Yeah.
suddenly, and then you don't even have like the people that you maybe you want like as much support as you can get, and if you don't get like it's like a tense situation, like the smallest things set people off in these situations.
Yeah. I just say that because I think as a kid, you're pretty sensitive.
Hmm.
Like maybe, yeah, you could brush it off like, oh, they're just a kid. They'll understand. But once again, you don't know if they're going to understand. Like,
That's fair, but the way I see it, I feel like it is totally fair what you're saying. I would argue that maybe it's not so damaging as having the one parent there. So in that sense, like yeah, it really could be like a really really monumental thing, a really important dance recital. And I wonder how much kid would really be able to understand if one of their parents was not able to make it there.
yeah, I would say, oh man, I don't know. So so your final verdict is that they're an asshole?
I still think they're an asshole. Yeah, I think it's they're they should have done something. It feels like they didn't really offer much.
They offered their condolences.
Did they?
Yeah.
I offer my condolences, but this was beforehand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was once the person passed away. I feel like on the day of, maybe it's appropriate. Maybe it seems this person seems a bit inconsiderate. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't go to the recital, I feel like you could still do some things to show that you care.
Mm-hmm.
But it almost feels like this person really doesn't care.
But I guess does a person have to care? That's my thing. You know what I mean?
Don't you think it would be decent to care? There was a sudden loss of human life, technically part of the family.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's like this is truly the final time you'll ever be in the same vicinity as this person in your entire life.
Yeah, I just feel like what gets me is that they've prepared for this dance recital. You know what I mean?
True.
Like imagine how much the kids looking forward to performing in front of their parents, and
Yeah.
one of them is gone.
Yeah.
But
I mean, how sad
I guess to rebut that though, if you're able to explain that to your kid,
Exactly.
5-year-old, it's actually not. It depends. But I think if you were able to explain it pretty well, they would actually be understanding.
Yeah, that's kind of the camp that I'm in as well. Like, of course, it's not going to be good. Your 5-year-old is going to be sad, undoubtedly. Even if they don't express it, if they like you, they're going to be sad.
Okay,
that you're not there.
I made up my mind.
Okay,
60% asshole, 40% not the asshole. So technically, the asshole.
Yeah. What pushed you to that decision?
Because I think the right step would have been maybe try to talk to your kid first.
Yeah.
Maybe they did. I'm trying to make no judgments here, but maybe trying to explain like what's happening. There's been a loss in the family, and it's the kid's family too, technically, right?
Don't you think by thinking this way, you're being a little too graceful for this poster? Like, I feel like if they had this kind of dialogue with their kid, they probably would have mentioned it in the context. I feel like people that make these posts, they will put as much out there to cover their own ass as possible.
That's true.
And this person didn't say anything like that.
So that's what I'm saying. Like even with that in mind, that even that much grace I'm giving them, I'm still saying 60% now. So imagine if maybe all the facts were available, maybe that would be like an 80% asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think this person is mostly an asshole.
Okay, should we look at the comments?
What they think? I mean, this is the comments are the most fun part.
Okay, the first I'll read out the first comment.
Okay,
this is the most popular upvoted comment. Funerals are the living.
Are for the living.
Are for the living. You go to support your loved ones who are still on this earth. If you don't have a close relationship with your dad and his wife, I totally understand how it's going. But if you overall had a good relationship with your dad and his wife, I think you made the wrong decision. Grief is hard, and when you feel the people you care about don't care about you in return, it just amplifies the grief.
I think that's pretty correct, especially that final sentence.
I agree.
Like I said, this is like this person's final moment, and I think you shouldn't go to a funeral if you actively dislike someone.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
if you actively dislike someone, I think you shouldn't go. But I think even if like you're okay with imagine a friend, not a close friend, but just one of your friends. Because I'm thinking of like one of my friends. Even if it's like a friend from like high school that I haven't talked to in a while, if I find out they passed away and there's like a funeral, I would go.
Yeah, If I were friends with them in high school, 100% I would go.
Yeah, and don't you think that's like kind of similar to this?
Yeah, I mean, like I guess it's true because say a friend passed away, even without asking me, I think I would go.
Yeah.
In this situation, they even asked her.
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm assuming generously, but I mean, like they're saying no, like,
Yeah.
and they don't want to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'm leaning more towards that asshole now.
Yeah. It's specifically like not being there for because, just think about how her dad feels. Because maybe this person wasn't important, this person, but maybe the step grandmother was quite important to her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, at least, if someone's like important, someone that's important to me, I'll try to make an effort to make that person important to me as well.
Okay. Second comment.
Which one?
Not the asshole. So is she, quote unquote, so young that she probably wouldn't remember it anyway, or old enough to understand that her mom has something more important to do? Which is it?
I think that's pretty valid.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that adults do all the fucking time, which is really fucking annoying. And it always bothers kids as well, which is conveniently belittling kids in whatever way is convenient for you. Specifically in this, where the person's father says the daughter is so young that she probably wouldn't remember it anyway, but at the same time, apparently old enough to understand. These two are like contradictory, and I feel like this happens all the time when people are dealing with kids. They think kids don't really know, they don't really get it, they don't really understand, they don't really remember.
Kids do understand. Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Exactly. They understand all the way. Once they can like talk and think and shit, they understand what the fuck you're doing, what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah.
And like, this is so disrespectful to a kid.
Yeah.
Imagine saying it, which is why like these people will never really say it to like kids' faces, or if they do, they're like huge assholes. But yeah, it's like such an inappropriate stance.
It's a hard one. That's why I think it would be, I mean, I don't know what the person did. I think that's why it's so important to try to talk to them first. The kid first, too.
Yeah, agreed.
Not only the dad and the stepmom.
Yeah.
But because like you said, like, I don't know, it might have a huge impact on them.
Yeah.
I think I've had, actually, no, I don't remember. But like, I'm trying to remember if I had times where my parents didn't show up, but I think they have.
I mean, I know distinctly moments in my early childhood where specifically adults said that I wouldn't remember it, or they expected me not to remember it. And then I bring it up and they're like surprised, or they're like shocked, or they act like it didn't happen until I keep pushing. They're like, okay, you're right, it did happen.
Yeah.
All
okay,
right,
next comment. We'll do two more.
Okay.
The next one is slightly early asshole. I actually think it's fine for you to miss the funeral, but it sounds like you didn't make any effort to show you care. You could have sent flowers or a fruit basket, called your stepmother, and sent a nice note about what a great lady your grandmother was, and how you're so sad to miss the funeral. I think if you had put in a little effort to show you care, it would have gone a long way. To which the person said, I called her and offered my condolences, and I did apologize profusely when I said my family wouldn't attend the funeral. To which the person said, okay, never mind. Not the asshole, based on the person's response.
I have a little trouble really believing this. I mean, in the original post, the person themselves says that they did not talk to her parents on the day of. But then here she says, I called her and offered my condolences, and I did apologize profusely when I said my family wouldn't attend the funeral. I'm guessing this is from the original conversation that they had, when she originally said like, oh yeah, my family can't come. And that's when she offered condolences and apologized. But I don't think she made any effort on the day of. And I think
you don't think so?
No, it doesn't seem like it. I mean, or else she probably would have said like, oh, I did send flowers, I did call them. But I mean, in the original post, she explicitly says, I did not contact them.
Wait, really?
Yeah, she said, there. Saturday came, I attended my daughter's dance recital. Both my father and his wife were radio silent all day, and I chose not to bother them. That's stupid as fuck.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah, like choosing not to bother people that are clearly, in grief. That is like such an L. That is so obviously the wrong move.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they thought, oh, they're grieving, I shouldn't bother them. No,
I think she knows she did something wrong and didn't want to have to deal with the uncomfortable situation on the day of.
Okay. I didn't think about that. You think that's what happened?
I think that's totally what it is. And I mean, like, everyone comes here for validation anyways.
Yeah. I guess I have to take into account of the bias that this is the person who's posting it.
Totally. Yeah, because we're only hearing their side of the story.
Yeah.
And for their side of the story, surely they're making themselves seem like as normal and like chill and morally correct as possible, surely. Even if they don't intend to, that's like your natural bias,
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
All these comments about funerals are for the living. You should have supported your dad. You should have showed more compassion. Rolling eye emoji. All of those are emotional manipulation. You have children, and your first priority is to those children, not senior citizens. If they are having trouble dealing with the sudden death of an old person, then they should get some therapy.
Damn.
That's kind of harsh. Yes, your daughter will have other recitals, but every event will have special moments, and you are not required to give those up for a funeral for someone, living or dead. And before people pile on, I'm in my 60s and I've lost several people close to me, but never made my children feel obligated to attend. My children can support me, but are not responsible for my emotional regulation. I don't agree with all of that. I think you should, like they're saying you're not required to give up those for a funeral for someone. I mean, context matters, like you said before. Like if you knew them, I think it's like courtesy to show up to the funeral. But I kind of agree with the emotional manipulation part, like I mentioned before, like the gaslighting. But once again, they may have said that out of like heightened emotions when they're grieving. But I also agree with the part with the children that they might take those moments quite special, each one of those moments, because you gotta look at that when you're 5 years old. Everything's so novel, everything's so new. So they could have it might have a huge impact on their like life moving on. So
the really big problem I have with this person's comment is saying you have children and your first priority is to those children, not senior citizens. Fair enough. But let's keep in mind that this family, this is not like random senior citizens.
Yeah.
And I think it's a bit like, people are always so disingenuous in these comments. They're always, clearly have like some bias, and this person clearly has bias to kids, but against senior citizens for some reason. And then and then they say, if they are having trouble dealing with a sudden death of an old person, then they should get some therapy. This is so incredibly tone deaf.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. That's this person's an asshole for saying that.
Totally, man. Listen, if you've got a personality like this, where you don't really give a fuck about people, where and it's like so obvious, you're gonna reach a point in your life where you're not gonna have very many people around you.
Yeah.
If this is your attitude towards humans in general, then I mean, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Yeah. This is a terrible, terrible thing to say to someone. If you're having trouble dealing with sudden death, you should go to therapy.
That's a disgusting statement.
Yeah, bro, you should go to therapy for saying this shit. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, because dude, loss is it's
final,
unbelievable.
Yeah,
grief is it's an unbelievable experience.
Yeah,
for someone who's have to go through grief for that.
That is permanent. It leaves a permanent scar on you. Especially if it's someone that was really a part of your life. It's a part of you that's gone, that's never coming back. And to have this kind of attitude towards it is frankly pretty idiotic.
I would say, you know what, the person's an asshole.
Yeah, I would say
that's my conclusion.
For the most part, I would say this person's an asshole.
Yeah. That was our first one. And then we have another one.
On to the next one. This one seems a little bit shorter, but so the title for this one is, Am I the asshole for grounding my son after he got kicked out of class for refusing to sit next to somebody?
Okay, just from that title. Once again, I don't know the context for this. Let's see. For grounding my son after he got kicked out for
refusing to sit next to somebody? I mean, this one is much more ambiguous. You totally need context.
I would say...
Because, like, what if the person was like a bully? What if the person's like an asshole?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, not the asshole, I would say.
Yeah. So, I mean, so this one, you totally need context.
Yeah, I was going to give it a rip.
But she's asking, or sorry, not she, this person is asking if they are an asshole for grounding their son.
Yeah. I would say not the asshole.
For grounding the son for refusing to sit next to somebody?
Yeah.
But no, but she did ground her son. And you don't know the reason that the son wasn't sitting with somebody. So maybe the person that they weren't...
Yeah, they are the asshole. Yeah.
Just like initially, right?
Yeah.
But okay, here's the body of the post. My son is a sophomore in high school. About a week ago, they did a lab for chemistry class, and he was paired up with this one girl. I feel like I've heard him talk about this girl before with his friends, calling her ugly and saying she smells like feces. That is so ridiculous. He was paired up with this girl, and while they were doing the lab, my son was apparently standing so far that he couldn't actually even help her in the lab. Eventually, the teacher caught on, and when she told him to move closer, he said no, saying she stinks. The teacher threatened to write him up if he didn't, and my son still refused, so he got kicked out of class. I got the call, and when he came home, I took his phone for A, not listening to the teacher, and B, publicly making fun of her, presumably in front of the whole class. I will say, I've met this girl before for something else, school related, in the past. And it's true that she doesn't smell the best, but my sentiment is the same. But my husband and my son think I'm making a big deal out of things. Am I the asshole?
Not at all. Fuck.
Yeah, not at all.
Dude, this.
Bro, your son and your husband fucking suck. Your husband and your son are the worst people ever. Your son's a fucking bully. He's a shitty guy. And your husband is also a fucking bully and a shitty guy and is enabling your son. What the fuck is going on here, man?
Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm trying to play the devil's advocate. Like, son, okay, smelly girl.
I mean, no, this is like so sad.
No, but like, I'm trying to see, like, yeah, I mean, this is bullying.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
bullying.
they're literally saying, calling her ugly, and
Yeah.
she smells like that. That's, dude, yeah, no. Okay,
I
yeah.
I mean, you know, whenever you've got a kid in school that has like poor hygiene, it's never
Like, you don't know their context. Like, maybe
yeah,
they're
exactly.
like,
It's almost no, not almost. It is never the kid's fault for you know that kind of stuff. Being dirty, having dirty clothes, having poor hygiene. There's clearly something going on at home
yeah.
that the kid is dealing with, and so you know the son having this kind of attitude. Obviously, this dumbass was not raised properly. He was not taught that he can't be having this kind of attitude to these people. And
Oh, man, imagine what the girl must be feeling.
I know,
Like,
right?
Especially as a girl.
Dude, that's probably got to be like one of the worst moments of her life.
Like, this is something that people take their own lives for.
Yeah, this is something that's like so like this kid has no clue how horrible, or maybe he does know, but
They're in high school.
Is it high school? Really?
Yeah. Like,
Holy fuck! Wow, sophomore in high school. How old is that?
that'd be like, I don't know, it's like grade 11
Dude.
in Canadian context.
Holy, so he's like 16, 15? Yeah, 16, 17? Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this would be grade 10.
Dude, even if you're grade 10, you're old enough to understand this, you know? You can't
Yeah.
be this fucking dumb. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Not the, let me see what the comments say.
But like, the big thing is, and then she says, my husband and my son think I'm making a big deal out of things.
Yeah.
Your husband is agreeing with your son? Why the
Dude,
fuck did you
that's-
marry this guy?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's not good, man.
That's not good at all. The you know, I could see so clearly why the son thinks it's okay if his dad has this kind of opinion.
Yeah. And honestly, what surprises me is that the teacher threatened to write him up and he still didn't do this.
Yeah. This clearly is such a bad kid.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the mom probably doesn't even realize how bad her kid is. Probably because I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but that's probably the point.
I mean, once again, I'm trying to play the devil's advocate. I mean, like, I feel like as a kid, maybe it would have been better to go about the other way, like a better way, rather than just calling her names and like straight up like ostracizing this girl. And
I mean, for the kid, there's like, he's already like the son, right?
yeah.
The son is already like fucked up, and he needs to be
I think they should do way more than grounding.
exactly. Yeah,
They
like
should make him reach out to the girl.
grounding is not enough.
Yeah.
This kid needs to learn. He needs
Yeah.
to understand what he does is wrong. Not just punishment, because you know the punishment it'll make him feel bad, and maybe it'll deter him from wanting to do it again. But it's not going to change him. You need to change him.
Dude, like this will forever impact the girl's life.
Yes.
Their self-esteem, their self-confidence.
Yes, and this attitude is going to ruin the son's life as well. Eventually, it's going to catch up with him. You know, you can't live your whole life having this kind of attitude. Someone's going to set you right, and it's better to get set right by your parents than a peer or a stranger or something like that.
Okay, ready for the comments?
Yeah,
Okay. First comment, not the asshole. Your son is a bully and your husband is enabling his behavior. I really feel sad for this girl.
totally agree. 100% agree. The son is totally a bully, and the husband is entirely enabling this behavior.
Yeah, this other person said the exact same thing. Like, your son has no idea what her home life is like, which probably is why she smells differently. It sounds to me she doesn't have any support at home as far as access to washer and ability to clean herself. And calling her ugly is totally uncalled for. Yeah, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah, where did that come from? I mean, dude, he was definitely playing it up too. Like, no one is so fucking smelly that you can be standing like a desk away from them.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Like,
that's horrible.
Yeah, he was obviously playing it up, like making it seem much worse than it is. And again, this poor girl clearly is dealing with something. Like, no parent that's, really, really aware and involved in their kids' lives. No parent is gonna send their kid to school like all messy and dirty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
So clearly there is something much more.
And who would want to go to school dirty?
Exactly.
I mean, yeah. Anyways,
like she would rather be clean and not be made fun of.
Yeah. There's one devil's advocate in the comments. Mm-hmm. I'm conflicted. How many of us would happily stand next to someone who smells like feces? The school has to do something, but forcing kids to pair up with her is unkind to both children. How should the son have handles this better? Suck it up and smell shit, meaning the scent, not girl. Ask the teacher to speak privately, which we said before. They should have approached it better, but the son straight up was bullying her, calling her names.
Have you ever personally been in this situation?
What do you mean?
Partnered with someone that you didn't want to be partnered with?
Never.
An uncool kid or someone that you thought was smelly?
Not at all.
I have.
Oh, okay.
I didn't give a shit.
How's that? Yeah.
Who gives a fuck, man? Like, I can stand being next to someone that doesn't smell great for one class. It's not going to be the death of me. You know what is going to be the death of me? Embarrassing this kid and making a big deal out of it. Mm. Like that is so much worse than just. I'm not saying everyone should suck it up. I'm just saying that's what I do. And I think that's way better than making a huge deal out of it in front of the class, getting the teacher involved, getting fucking sent home, and then getting grounded. Like, what the hell? This is all way too much.
Mm. I guess this is another devil's advocate. So, okay, so if my teenage daughter gets paired with a boy who doesn't wash his ass and smells like he doesn't wash his ass, I do not expect her to continue working with him. I don't expect anyone to actually, the kid needs a shower and a meeting with the school counselor. But I do expect my daughter to be kind in how she handles it, especially in a circumstance where the boy in question hasn't done anything wrong. I'm going with ESH, have no idea what the fuck that means.
That means everyone sucks here.
Okay, you suck because it sounds like you expected him to continue working with this girl despite her hygiene. Your son sucks for being unintentionally cruel about it. He could easily have handled his concerns privately and chose not to. Your husband sucks for being okay with his son being intentionally cruel about it. He could have supported his son's argument about not working with her while also condemning his abhorrent behavior and chose not to. Good. That last line feels like deja vu. Compassion would not have cost anyone anything in this situation.
Yeah, a lot of these people in these comments are acting like the smell is like going to kill you.
Yeah. Whereas what he's doing could kill someone.
Yeah. The biggest thing, I think the person I feel the most contempt for is the husband in this situation. That I would know, what is this guy doing? Taking his son's side, but saying like, yeah, the girl smells, what do you want? This is just so stupid.
Damn. Yeah. This one was a pretty easy one.
Yeah, I think so,
naughty asshole. Okay. Well, last one for this episode.
Yeah.
So we both don't know this, right?
No.
Okay. So the title, am I the asshole for refusing to attend my childhood best friend's destination wedding after they uninvited my wife?
First of all, judging from that title, totally not an asshole.
I agree.
I mean, why? If you don't invite my wife, you're not inviting me.
Yeah.
Once you're married to someone, that's a unit. It's a couple package.
Yeah.
There's no one or the other.
I agree.
So I gotta say, no, not the asshole for refusing to attend your childhood best friend is discluding your wife randomly.
Yeah, there's something going on.
Yeah, what the fuck kind of childhood best friend is this? Either it ain't such a good friend, or maybe the wife is not so cool.
Okay.
But anyways,
let's see. So here's the story. My best friend from childhood is getting married. He and his fiance have been together for about 7 years and planned a destination wedding. They wanted a smaller, more intimate wedding and decided to combine the bachelor and bachelorette party into a week-long trip. About a year ago, I was told about the wedding and was asked to attend. I was specifically told that both my wife and I were invited. The only thing we would need to pay for was our airfare. Everything else would be covered. Over the last year, there were multiple conversations confirming that both my wife and I would be attending. Based on that, we requested and received PTO from work, bought plane tickets, and started preparing for the trip. We bought clothes and other things we would need for a week-long destination wedding. About a month and a half before the wedding, my friend told me there was no longer enough space for my wife. Apparently, she had been cut from the guest list and there was only one room for me.
First of all, that makes no sense. But sorry, go ahead.
He also mentioned that numerous other guests were upset. Some people had to pay for their own accommodations elsewhere if they wanted to attend, after previously being told they would be covered. And some guests had their invitations revoked entirely because they were over capacity. I was honestly shocked. I told him that if my wife couldn't attend, then I wouldn't be attending either. I asked him what happened and why this situation occurred. I wanted an honest explanation. His response was basically that they didn't realize they had a capacity issue until invitations were sent out. I asked how that could happen if they already knew the venue capacity beforehand. He refused to answer directly and kept saying that this wasn't about the guests because it's their wedding. I told him that while it is absolutely their wedding and their choice, they had set clear expectations a year in advance and repeatedly confirmed these expectations. Now, after people had spent money, used PTO, and made plans, they were changing things and expecting everyone to be okay with it. He and his fiancée have taken no responsibility for the situation and instead blamed the guests for overreacting. He also told me that I was the only one making a big deal about not being able to bring my wife. To be clear, I never demanded that they reinvite her. I simply told him that if my wife wasn't welcome, I wouldn't be attending either. Am I the asshole for being angry about this and refusing to go to the wedding?
Not at all. And I wonder what the fuck is going on. There's so many things strange about this post. So one of the first things I noticed was this guy. So apparently there was no room for his wife and he just had a room for himself now. How the fuck does that make sense?
So I had a wedding.
Yeah.
I was involved in the planning process. It wasn't a destination wedding, but I planned a wedding. Yeah. I mean, not really me, but my wife. But I'm trying to see, when you book a venue, the venue that you book is based on the capacity. Mm-hmm. So meaning that you have an idea of how many guests you have that are going to be in the wedding. Mm-hmm. So to say this is a capacity issue a year later, where you sent out invites, meaning that you probably would have finalized it way before, and then just to say, psych.
Yeah.
I take that back. Kind of weird.
That's insane. And also, can you believe his best friend pointed out that he was the only one apparently making a big deal about his wife not being invited? I mean,
classic gaslighting.
Yeah, like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? They spent money. They took paid time off. They spent money to buy their tickets. They spent money to buy clothes and whatever the fuck else they were doing. And then, just that alone is enough to make someone pissed off.
Yeah.
I did all these things and now I'm not invited. Like, that alone is enough.
Like I get that it's their wedding.
Yeah.
Because weddings are stressful. It's expensive, but like maybe it'd be different if it was like a local wedding, but a destination wedding where you did all that you described, you paid for it, you took time off, and then just to say, oh, I changed my mind.
Yeah, I changed my mind. It's my wedding. It's not my guest's wedding. Yeah. That's kind of a dick move, man.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe, yeah, like I don't think I saw that he apologized, did they?
No, I don't think so. And on top of that, this person to the poster made it clear that he didn't even ask for his wife to be reinvited. He just said that if my wife can't go, then I can't go either, which is like 100% fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would expect anyone that's in a committed relationship to have a very, very, not even similar, the exact same position where, you invited us and now you're uninviting one of us, but you can't really do that. You have to, it's either both of us or none of us, But still, I think it's weird that this person, that suddenly there was no room for the wife.
Well, it's not just the wife though. There's multiple people.
Yeah, but if this guy has a room, why couldn't the wife be in the same room as him? Like, are they rooming with people?
Wait, what do you mean?
Because in the post he says, where was it? I can't find it now, but he basically said that there was I asked how.
It just says there's no longer enough space for my wife, so she had been cut from the guest list, and there was only room for me.
Yeah. So how's there maybe that means the venue, maybe not like the accommodation. I was thinking about it in like the accommodation sense.
I guess they didn't specify that, so we
Yeah.
don't really know.
Yeah, I guess I thought that was weird. But if it's a destination wedding, how do you even have problems with the venue?
I mean, I maybe I could see it, but once again, when you book the venue, there's a capacity list there. Like it specifically identifies how much people can be at the venue.
No, but I mean, like, how many people can you even get to go to a destination wedding? I would say like max, like if you're very lucky, 30 people are going to be able to make it.
I mean, it depends on how you want it, how big you want it, though.
I guess so. But my point is like, say you're doing a destination wedding, it's hard to believe that you're over capacity on the venue.
Yeah.
You know, like because it's not like you're booking a venue for like 100 people.
I mean, mine's not. I'm not really over the top about that. Mine's just more like when you book the venue, you know how many people can attend. That's my thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Something clearly happened with the wedding couple, and now they're like cutting people. I mean, it's definitely got to be like financial struggles.
Yeah.
But they're just not admitting it.
Yeah, I think that's one big thing. Not just being honest about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being pretty defensive about it as well. You know, throwing it back at.
Yeah, you just straight up gaslit him.
Yeah, you're saying like, oh, you're the only one making a big deal out of this.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't believe that. If there's someone else in a similar situation,
yeah,
I find it very, very hard to believe that no one else is making a big deal out of their fiance being suddenly uninvited from the wedding.
I agree. So I think he's not the asshole for being angry.
Yeah, and his a supposed childhood best friend is an asshole.
And then, are you ready to see the comments?
Yeah, but don't you think like something like this, it's like almost so stupid that it seems unbelievable. Childhood best friend is this much of a moron? Really?
Well, no, I actually don't think, I think childhood best friend means nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I had many childhood best friends and I'm not friends with right now.
Yeah, but he is.
But you don't know how their dynamics changed.
Well, he's saying my best friend from child.
Yeah, like it could be like not that close anymore.
Yeah, true. Man, this guy shouldn't have said like childhood best friend. He should have just said like
my
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see the comments.
All right.
First one. Not the asshole. I would not attend. I would go on a holiday with my wife, use the tickets, but I wouldn't be attending. Then they can give your seat to someone else. C, you're assisting them.
Honestly, not a bad idea.
That's a pretty sick idea.
Yeah,
I think actually.
I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
And you know, you also do have like an easy out saying like, oh, you know what? Since my wife isn't coming, I won't come either. And then you can just re-invite another couple that you had to split up. You know?
Yeah.
It's like a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're still losing out because you know you planned for this wedding and now you have to change your plans.
Yeah.
But it's still like a lovely. I'm sure it will still be a lovely vacation with your wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, like downsides being like you didn't personally choose this vacation destination and it's supposed to be different, so it still like kind of sucks. But I think that is probably the best of a bad situation.
Let's see. So over a year, they kept you and other guests presumably buy tickets, outfits, gifts, and accommodations, and decided to disinvite them a month before the actual wedding. That is terrible. You can't treat people like that, and don't expect pushback. I also think your friend is lying about other people not making this an issue.
Totally true. I think this person's got it down pat. I think the friend probably is lying about a bunch of things, actually.
Yeah.
Like
so whatever the reason could be, let's say you're the host of the wedding.
Yeah.
Like, how would you how would you take responsibility for this?
Honesty is the best policy, man.
You just apologize profusely. I was like, I'm so sorry. And
yeah, just right away. I would just say, because I think it's like probably a financial issues. Yeah. And I think if you're honest about that, who's going to be mad at you? You know?
Yeah. I mean, they'll be mad. And I think you should expect them to be mad.
I think it's understandable though. Yeah. Like, because, because I think something unexpected came up, which caused financial issues. I don't think or at least like, I'm comfortable giving enough benefit of the doubt to the person to say like they didn't go over budget initially. It was something bad that happened that caused them to have financial struggles rather than like they overbooked initially and they were just like being assholes about it.
I see. Yeah. I mean, I think the best thing to do is just being honest. Yeah. Apologizing. I think if they're already on like financial constraints, then it'd be difficult to make up for what they purchased in the plane tickets. Maybe like a gift, maybe like out of gesture of, I don't know, apology. But yeah, but honestly, would just go a long way.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not the way that this guy went about it, being like argumentative and stuff.
Yeah.
And it does make. I mean, it does not that it makes sense, but tensions are high around wedding times.
Yeah, I'm
But,
trying to look for a comment where they're trying to say he's the asshole, which I can't really find any, to be honest.
Yeah, this seems pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. I'm trying to look here, but no, they're all not the asshole, not the asshole. I would end this friendship.
Damn.
One says.
You know, I think in a lot of these scenarios, people in the comments are so rabid.
What do you mean?
Like maybe it's to do with commenters being like maybe a little bit younger, but I feel like they really don't think about the consequences of whatever the fuck.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's much easier to type all these comments out than to actually follow through with your actions.
Yeah, like I saw, I briefly, while you were scrolling, I briefly saw one of the comments said like, go and then send them like postcards while you're there, which is like a huge asshole move in my opinion.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no one's gonna do that.
Yeah,
like,
that's one of the stupidest suggestions you can have.
Yeah.
But I see it quite commonly on posts like this where people are like, yeah, just fuck them over, just go gung fucking ho, you know, like throw shit at the wall, fuck those guys, break up with your boyfriend, whatever the fuck, all that shit. So it's nice to see every once in a while.
Yeah,
people are pretty grounded on something like this.
Well, this one's pretty easy, I think. Well, not the asshole frame.
Yeah, we got to find some more controversial ones for next time.
Yeah, I mean, how do you think this went?
A little too easy.
No, than like the entire series. Like, I mean, the episode.
Oh, I think it was good. I think it was fine. Yeah, but yeah, it would have been nicer to have something more juicy.
Yeah, I mean, well, let us know like how this went. I think maybe if we need to go more in depth per post, like to try to identify more like context, identify more values, morality.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to do was come up with my own, I guess, like story of one that I was unsure of whether I was an asshole or not.
Yeah.
But all I could think of was stories where I was like clearly an asshole.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe for next time.
Yeah, we'll try to look for more juicy ones that are kind of like fiddling around this line of am I the asshole or not the asshole, but
yeah, so now we're on this new, not exactly schedule, but new format once again, where Tuesdays we will have, is Tuesdays the miniseries?
Yeah.
Yeah, so every Tuesday we will be uploading a new episode continuing our miniseries. And then on Thursdays will be fun time where we talk about whatever the fuck. But yeah, that's all the time we've got for this week's episode. Or double episode, whatever the fuck. Thank you guys so much for listening once again. Really appreciate it. You guys coming back every single week. But yeah, that's all from us. This has been Catch Up with Kai and Cohen. I'm Kai.
And I'm Cohen.
Thank you very much.
Peace.